boys in blue are back.
Back!
We're back, baby!
Ilinic, he finishes that shot! And another save! Matt Freed!
Welcome to another episode of the City Boys.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. Delay of the call, just like the game.
I did not know where you were going with that.
Welcome to another episode of the City Boys. I'm Javier. This is Danny.
What is up?
Y'all was mad confused by that delay.
Wait, what was wrong? The net was broken?
Yeah, the net I think had a hole in it, and you can't play. Alonso Martinez, bang! Preseason, I mean, right before the game, he's kicking the ball. He just put a hole in it.
I mean, if someone can do it, it's Alonso Martinez. How did they fix it?
I don't know. I don't get into the weeds of things. All right. All I know is there was something with the. Did they say it on the broadcast? Because you weren't at the game. I was curious if like anybody in the broadcast was mentioning what was happening.
I missed like the first 20 minutes,
bro. We do a podcast for the team. Well, not for the team. For the people.
For the people, about the team. I should have seen it from the beginning. I got on a little late.
And then you didn't even go and rewatch the first 20 minutes.
I thought about it though. Talking about us slacking. We didn't do an episode last week.
We talk about this every week. I'm sure the people are tired of that. But
but we got to talk about it.
What do we got to talk?
We had a family game. We went there. It was fun. It was cold. But we did it.
It was not as cold as Sunday's game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Or Saturday's game.
I was sad I couldn't make it, but then I saw
people freezing. The players were all like, it was cold.
Yeah.
It was cold. It was wet. It was not ideal for soccer.
Yeah.
Which gets me into my next point. They just rejected the games moving into the winter schedule.
Did they?
Well, I mean, it's been a couple days now, but they said they're going to have this conversation after the World Cup. Are you in line with that, or what's your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's best for us, NYCFC, for us to have our own stadium before the schedule changes. We've talked about this with last season when we talked to Brad Sims, but he said most of our sales come from ticket sales, and no one's coming to a soccer game December, November, January.
But why is nobody coming?
It's cold.
But people are going to football games when it's a blizzard outside. So it doesn't make any sense.
It's different, though, bro. Soccer's a completely different vibe. You got to play the drums. Bro, with the no drums, what a vibe difference it is when you don't got those drums in the stadium, bro.
Yeah, that Minnesota game was sad. It was depressing. I was tucked in the City Field for the game against the Union, so you couldn't really hear them, and we're right next to the Philly fans, so it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully those drums are coming back for the next, I think, home game. So I think we'll be back. Full action. May's gonna be popping.
That would be nice. And we got a lot of games in May.
A lot of games. It's gonna be fun.
It is. City
Field's attendance was decent. I would say it was a decent crowd.
Bro, they said 19,000. Whoever's counting needs to show up to my parties. So I could be like, 2,000 people showed up to my house party. Because on TV, it looked like you could count everybody in your fingers, bro.
I don't want to say it was that bad of a crowd.
It looked bad on TV.
It was cold.
Do you think 19,000 is accurate?
Nah, it was probably a little less, but I think it was not that bad, not that far off from that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it was a cold one. I don't blame people for not showing up.
Yeah.
It was cold and rainy. This gets me into my next conversation.
Wait. Before you go into the conversation,
what?
Just before we leave Minnesota, two things I want to say about the Minnesota game. First of all, shout out to Mike from Blue City Radio for giving us the tickets.
Oh, yes.
That was nice. Appreciate that. And then, I don't know if you remember this, but last podcast we had, I made this joke kind of like, everyone comes up to us and goes, I didn't ever say love the pod. They say love the stickers. Right? Oh, no, not love the stickers. Love the memes.
Oh, yeah.
So we're walking out of our section of the stadium that Mike gave us tickets to, and my daughter's trying to get past this guy. And then the two guys who are talking, he goes, "Yo, move out the way. Let the city boys go by." And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And he's like, yeah, love the pod. And I was like, I love your content. I got so hyped. And I wanted to talk to them more. And I'm sorry. I was just like, hey, what's up? Here's some stickers. And then we walked out because we had our family and I got nervous. But I was hyped that someone was like, love the pod.
Instead of love the memes?
Yeah, I love the memes. And he goes, love your content. I was like, so shout out to whoever you were. I'm sorry I didn't get your name. But if you're listening to this, appreciate it.
Very cool.
Okay, now go back to your
what
point.
I was upset with the Minnesota? They didn't have the team store on the supporters
yeah.
side.
When did they get rid of that?
I know. Is that not a thing anymore?
I was trying to get my Talis Magno black jersey, and they didn't have that.
I know. They're slacking.
Yo, also, one more thing on that. From like being a fan that day, saw a lot of the jerseys up close. Not a fan, man. The more I see the new jerseys, the more I don't like them.
I like them. I dig them.
I don't dig them.
I already know what your favorite one is.
Oh, yeah. Yo, bro, I mean, I saw people still rocking the white stripes and the sky
my
blue.
daughter has that one.
Oh, yeah, she looked fire in
She
that.
does look cool. The team got great photos of her.
Yeah, I know. That was awesome.
Did you see me, though? I look like an idiot. I'm like... Well, she looks awesome.
I looked stressed out that game. Picture that.
That was hilarious. She looked depressed. There's been news about Kevin De Bruyne. He's not going back to Man City at the end of the season. Would you like to see him in an NYCFC kit?
1,000%, bro. I know they're saying he's old. I know they're saying his body can't take it. We got Maxi Morales out here playing 90 minutes, homie. We could have some KDB, and I don't know if it's just been the season or the drums because it feels quieter, but it's like we need a spark of like people in the stadium. 19,000 would have looked small if we had KDB on the team.
Does he have that type of presence though? Just himself?
I think so. Premier League has a big presence. So even if you don't get like maybe like right like our sisters aren't going to be like, "Oh, KDB's on the team, I'm coming." But there's going to be a lot of Premier League fans that will come watch him play.
The only reason I wouldn't want to see him come yet is the stadium's not opening yet. I feel like perfect timing would have been 2027. He comes, and then boom, you got this huge name as Kevin De Bruyne. You got this new stadium, make a real splash.
Bro, that doesn't work. I mean,
why? That would be amazing. But the problem is,
he's going to be 36 years old. 37 years old.
I understand that, but that's why I don't think it makes sense now.
But I think you also... No, but he's 33. He still has some good prime out of him.
But you just want that star power when the stadium comes open.
But I don't want Premier League star power. I want everyone loves you star power. I need James Rodriguez in 2027.
It's not happening. How old is James going to be? You talking mad smack like James isn't an old man himself.
Yo, he's not that old, bro.
He's probably just around 33, so you didn't even find his age, did you?
He's born in 91. 33 years. No, but James Rodriguez has a name to him, and he's gonna be playing for Colombia in the World Cup. We're gonna go deep. You're gonna be like, oh man, James, he's gonna be a star. You bring him here at 36, 37.
It's too old, dude. You just said it about Kevin De Bruyne.
No,
you can't
but
just
what
change.
I'm saying
is, and they're both very injury prone.
I understand that, but the thing is, there's household recognition of James Rodriguez.
You just said everybody knows Kevin De Bruyne.
No, I said Premier League fans know Kevin De Bruyne. Everyone knows James Rodriguez.
I don't know if everybody knows James Rodriguez that much.
I think you're wrong. I think
so.
If you would have, we just picked 10 random strangers on the street and said, "Do you know Kevin De Bruyne?" They'd be like, we got 50-50. You said James Rodriguez, 9 out of 10.
Whoa, you're bugging.
We're about to do this. We're about to do this next time.
You're bugging, bro. You have to be a soccer fan to know James Rodriguez. That's all.
Everyone's a World Cup fan. And James Rodriguez is a star in the World Cup.
That was like 3 World Cups ago. You're like living in the past. I love James Rodriguez. It was 2 World Cups ago.
Bro, he was just good in this past World Cup.
No, that was not the World Cup. That was Copa America.
Yeah,
and nobody watches Copa. Not real soccer fans don't watch Copa America.
Bro, there were people going through the ventilation shafts to watch Colombia play, all right, man?
I don't know. He doesn't have the name. Moving on. NYCFC versus the Union. I think a lot of people were worried coming into this game. And I think this was a game that it was bigger. I felt like it was a bigger game because it's like we've been this middle of the road team. Like, are we a contender or are we not? And I feel like this is one of those games where it was like you're trying to find that answer. And I think a lot of people thought we were playing a very strong Union team and we might get destroyed. Let's look at the lineups. NYCFC versus Union. What the hell was the lineups? We had Martinez at striker, Ojeda at the wing. So that was the change right there. Morales, Wolf, Shore, Parks, O'Toole, Haak in the back line, Martins, Alenich, and Freeze. What were your thoughts when you saw the lineup?
Haak back there. I think he deserved it, man. If you remember who Burke Risa came out in the 40th minute last game. Burke Risa, when he's been on the pitch, has not looked great. And Justin Haak has been looking spectacular in the midfield and as center back. And just excited to see him get the opportunity to start again.
By the way, it wasn't just Riso who got subbed out in that 40th minute. It was Julian Fernandez. And guess who got to start this game? Ojeda. And Ojeda, I thought, played pretty good.
I thought he did too.
And especially against a team like Philadelphia Union, where they're going to press you all night, you need that kind of fast guy over the top that could be dangerous. And that's what Ojeda was for us this game.
Hey, you know what I like about when Ojeda's out there is that when Ojeda feels comfortable on that left side, and so you get to put Julian back on the right. You notice when Julian comes into the game, Julian plays on the right and Wolf plays on the left. I'm sorry, you get to put Wolf back on the right is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So Wolf gets to be back on the right, and I just think he's so much more comfortable on that side than he is on the left side. And you're seeing a much better Wolf on that side. So I think putting Ojeda on that left side, first, like you said, he looks solid, and two, I think it makes Wolf a better player that he feels on the side that he feels more comfortable with.
Yeah, no, I agree. First half was like I just felt like the rain kind of slowed this whole game down. It was like passes were sloppy on both ends. We looked at the first half, like 11 minutes in, Ojeda had a chance. Kevin O'Toole had a beautiful cross to Ojeda, but Ojeda, he didn't really get any foot on the ball, so it wasn't like a beautiful chance, but it was a good delivery because it got past all of the defenders. It just no finish at the end of that.
But then Micha took the opportunity, right? Is that the opportunity you're talking about, where he didn't hit the ball well, but then Micha took the shot and then missed and then shot it again and then mooned it?
Oh, I think that was it was Ojeda who shot it, but he missed.
I think it was Micha, but yeah.
Micha missed like 7 of those though.
Yeah.
No offense to Micha, but he was like every time was mooning those things, but then he redeemed himself in that second half.
Yeah, but I would say I appreciate Micha taking the shots. I feel like we have a team that's a little too conservative at taking shots and waiting for the perfect shot. So I appreciate Micha's lack of fear and just taking the action.
This team looks drastically different when it comes to shooting outside the box than they did last year. If you looked at like last year, I felt like nobody would shoot this outside the box.
That's correct.
And I think that was part of Cushing's philosophy, or something ingrained in them by Cushing was like always try to get the perfect person, get in the right position, and then try to do it. And I feel like this year, everybody's got free range. We saw it in the second half with Shore. Shore took a shot and no fear. And as an 18-year-old kid coming into this game, I mean, you could credit to Shore just being fearless and a little bit of Janssen, maybe his coaching style, letting these guys be a little more free.
Facts.
So I think that was good to see, and I think that's good to see that we're seeing that. Now, do we want to see people moon the ball every time? Probably not, but hopefully we're going to start getting guys hitting the ball as they progress and as they have more chances to get through it. Early in the game, the press actually almost worked on us. Martins had a mistake. It gets back to I believe their striker, and then Haak saves us. We got to give Haak some love.
We do, bro. He's been so good this year.
I think about Haak, and I'm like, have we ever had such a versatile player? Like, think about it. Like, this guy's been going back and forth from the back line to the midfield, and there's been no like questioning of, oh, is he really hurting us at this spot, or is he really hurting us at that spot? It's like, no, Haak is just fitting into those roles, and it feels seamless.
I feel like the closest thing you compared to, which I think is a good like a compliment is James Sands, right? You would see James Sands sometimes play center back when our back line was thin, and I think it's safe to say that I think Haak plays better as a center back than James Sands did. And James Sands stood up at those times. Maybe James Sands is a little better on the midfield, of course.
No, he was a lot better on the midfield. let's not play James Sands.
But I'm saying like he's taking over that role of like being able to,
but it's a great credit for what you're saying, because when we saw James Sands leave, it was like, oh man, like we're losing one of our best defenders. And Haak has kind of slowly slipped into that and felt seamless. He's really felt like he's grown. And if we look at like Hat's stats, he's in the 89th percentile between defenders for interceptions. For possessions won in the final third, he's in that 89 percentile. Duels won, he's in that 82nd percentile. So Haak is really becoming that full either center back or midfield. He still says he likes to play the midfield more, but I'm glad we have a person like him that's more versatile, especially with a team with the lack of depth.
Yeah.
So very good option for us.
Also, like, was he always like? I know he wasn't this good 2 years ago, but was like he being underutilized last year under Cushing? It's something I think about, and because I just am so angry at the Cushing time period now that we have like a new world and a new coach. I just think about like did we underutilize Haak last year, and then on top of that, Burke Risa is the reason or a big part of the reason why we lost Chanel. And just thinking back and going, wow, like, did Cushing really like mess this up, man?
Well, I think one of the things that is good for Janssen and why he's got like free range to do whatever he wants is because he didn't have any of these guys prior. Like, think about it. Cushing wasn't just some guy they just picked up. He was already part of the team. He already had existing relationships with some of these guys. He brought in some of these guys. So you paid Burke Risa how much so money, and you're going to start Haak over him?
Yeah.
So it's like when Janssen comes into this, no preconceived notions, doesn't care about salaries because he did not pay for any of these guys.
Yeah.
He didn't say, let's go out and get this player.
Yeah.
Cushing did.
Yeah.
So like Cushing had a reason to be like, I wanted Risa. Risa probably, I didn't, not to say that he did want Risa, but it is some guy. Risa was one of those guys picked up during his tenure.
Yeah.
So it's like you're coming into this with, it's good that Janssen's the coach because you don't have any preconceived notions, and you could just say, Haak is a great player. I think he should be out there, and he just rolls him out.
That's a valid point.
But yeah. So first half back and forth game. I thought we did really well at holding their press to not be as effective. A lot of the time we were like in the midfield and we would just pass back and forth, but it was really starting to stop their press, which their press was they're known for their press. So the fact that we were able to like balance that out was a good thing for us.
Yeah. And I appreciate that type of growth because we've seen in prior games where the press has completely turned our game plan around. So to see that we keep playing opponents that have strong presses and that slowly and surely we're like learning to play through that, just applause to the coaching.
Yeah. 55th minute, Micha vision. Shoo, 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 ching, 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 ching. I see everything. No, Micha goes the beautiful delivery to Alonso Martinez. Alonso Martinez, you get the ball in that guy's feet one-on-one with one defender and a goalkeeper. That guy doesn't see anybody. He just gets past him, shoots it, scores the goal. What did you think?
First of all, applause to Micha. What a service to Alonso Martinez. It was a great pass. It's something that I feel like I wanted to see more of. In the entire first half of the game on TV, because that's how I watched it, Alonso Martinez looked so frustrated. And he was like, you could tell he was just like, give me the ball. I'll make something happen, but you got to give me an opportunity. And it was great to see an opportunity given to him, and then he just convert that. And you just know when Alonso Martinez has that on a one-on-one, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
So shout out to Micha for the pass.
I think Alonso said something along those lines like, Like last week, he thought about like missing that PK, and it drove him even more to score this one. And that's when you know, like, this guy's just got a killer like mentality. Like when he sees that ball, and I
appreciate what Misha said. Well, you go first.
No, go.
Keep going.
What were you gonna say?
No. I was gonna tell you to shout out what Misha said after the press conference that you put on Instagram.
Oh yeah, Micha was like, basically, I saw nobody else on the field, and anytime I just saw Alonso Martinez, and anytime Alonso Martinez gets it, he's unpredictable. Like he can score anywhere. He's just really good. And it wasn't even just Micha giving him love. Like Keaton Parks gave him love after the game. He's like, guy's a beast. And then what else did Micha say? I mean, he was just highlighting Alonso Martinez, and then he said, "I didn't even know my pass was going to be that good." But I think it's also one of the reasons why Alonso Martinez is so good is that pass might have been a little to the right for another striker, but Alonso Martinez is going to track that ball, make sure he gets there and finish. So
Alonso Martinez is like really fast, homie. You don't realize it, but he is so fast.
Oh yeah, dude is quick, dude.
Yeah, it's great to see that. I feel like we've always been a team that's a little on the slower end.
Yeah,
and to have some dude with pace like that, it's crazy. Also, something I was thinking about with Alonso Martinez plays striker, and so it feels like, when you're a great player anywhere else on the pitch, it makes everyone else look good, right? Because you can like distribute the ball, you can make spaces for people, you can hold on to the ball and then allow the play to develop. But when you're a striker, you don't really have that ability unless you're playing really far, back. And he doesn't play that. He plays like a true striker where he's going to stay on that back line, he's going to wait for the right opportunity. And so sometimes, like, he's just so talented and so skilled that, like, every time he gets the ball, he looks so much more dynamic than the rest of the team that he almost makes the rest of the team look bad, in my opinion, because he's just it feels like he's just on another level of play when the ball is on his feet versus everyone else. And I go, damn, I've never seen, like, a star look, or someone on our team make the rest of the team look so much like the rest of the team is great, but just feels like it's just slightly not at the same level as Alonso Martinez, and it's kind of crazy to me, and it just kind of makes me think, man, just imagine if you had another Alonso Martinez-esque talent on this team, it would feel like we were unstoppable.
No, I agree. And the funny thing about that is, like, Alonso Martinez, sometimes, like, he gets the ball towards the outside of the box or, like, to the right or the left where he can't really score. But it's like, damn, man, if we just had another Alonso Martinez right in that middle of that box, we'd be good.
Exactly. I mean, it kind of happened in the first half where Alonso Martinez was on a one-on-one with the defender, thought about striking it, but then decided to cross it into the box. And then Ojeda just missed a pretty much easy goal.
Yeah.
And so that was a little tough.
I think one thing we also did good this game is keep Kai Wagner like out of. I mean, they like to really go through Kai Wagner, go up front, and have him cross. And I think we were trying to push more through the right side to make it that Kai Wagner was playing more up, and he didn't have those chances to come down. So I think that was one. Strategically, I think we played a really good game. It was two good head coaches going at it, and I think it was just a solid game from us, coaching wise.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say? Julian Fernandez gets subbed in the 75th minute. Now, he gets subbed in. Who does he get subbed in for?
Maxi Morales.
Oh, Maxi Morales. And then, so we're all thinking, he's not going to play the 10, right? I mean, Julian's never played the 10. And he goes and he plays the 10. This is what Coach had to say. I found it interesting after the game. Let me play it for you.
You put in Fernandez, who is also a very creative player, attacking-minded also. For Juli, it's a different situation. He's been playing on the right wing the majority of the games, but I think he is also able to add some qualities in the middle if we need them. But I do agree that Maxi has a great impact on our game because he is by far the midfield player who creates the most chances for the attackers. But we also have to make sure that Maxi is always available for each and every game. So that's finding the balance right there.
So yeah, Julian's going to be playing 10. And that's what I gathered from that. I don't know if you gather something else.
Yeah, I think you cut it a little short because he does say a little bit more. Like, I think we're gonna get a little bit more creative, and you'll probably see him in a way, playing more at the 10.
How do you feel about that? And I would. Okay, go. Just go. How do you feel?
Say, originally it was like, well, we saw Hannes Wolf play 10 during the preseason, and he looked pretty decent. And so I think he's played Cam in the past ish.
Yeah.
And so you would think it would be the obvious choice. However, my thought process was, one, Julian is a little weak at tracking back. And when you're playing that right wing, left wing position, that's a big responsibility, especially in the formation that they play at. And so you allow Julian to stay more up, and then his weaknesses become less of a liability versus allowing Hannes Wolf to keep going back, or allowing, Ojeda, whoever else we have at the wing, maybe Malachi when he comes back, right? So if you can, and Maxi is, because of his age, even in the 70 minutes he's going to play, or 65 minutes, he probably can't track back as well as a younger team anyways, right? So if you get used to a 10 that's not tracking back, then bringing Julian into that position won't feel like a huge change in game plan. And so that was my logic, is like, yes, Julian is a young guy who's probably always played his life on a wing, and now you're telling them change. But one, he's young, so he still has the opportunity to do it. Two, we've seen him make some dynamic opportunities last year. That cross to Kevin O'Toole with that beautiful header, and some other crosses that he's had. If you can change him now to be a 10, it might be a good substitute, so you don't have Maxi Morales playing 90 minutes until KDB joins in the summer. I think that's a good justification for this.
Well, I just haven't seen enough from Julian to feel comfortable that he is going to be able to make those right decisions. Because the few times we have, it's always been, at the few times we do see Julian, it's like he's that attacking-minded type of striker. And it's not like striker, but like he wants to score. I haven't seen so much of him like really thinking, how can I free up a defender, or how can I cross through a defender to then get the ball to Alonso? I see it more as, when I'm on the pitch, I'm on the outside of the box, and I could score a damn goal with my left foot. That's how I see him. So for me, I've never seen him in that role. But you're right. He's leading the team with assists right now. So that's a positive.
I didn't even know that.
It's only 2, so let's not get carried away. But it's going to be interesting to see if he has that decision making, and maybe he's been practicing that. And I mean, it is nice to have a young player who's not just on those wings, because I feel like we're stacked in those wings, and we always have a problem trying to fill in these wings to see if he can play that 10. But you also did mention Kevin De Bruyne, but I'm only mentioning that is to say, I think it's basically, we got 2 weeks left in the transfer window. It's not happening. And at the end of that quote from Pascal Jansen was like, hey, we're going to wait to... He didn't say we're not going to sign anybody this winter, but he said, if we have to wait, we're going to wait to find the right player.
Yeah.
But I still think the right player should probably be at number 10, no? Like, if you had the option, would you still use next summer transfer window to sign a number 10?
You mean this upcoming summer transfer window? Yes, I'd bring in a 10. I'd bring in James Rodriguez.
All right, you're an idiot.
No, but I also think, I like Johnny Shore at the 6, but I also think someone at the 6 would be good. Honestly, I think we could...
I think we're good on the midfield, dude.
I think you're right.
We got Perea, we got Kean Parks, we got Shore. I think we're pretty good. Well, when I say midfield, I mean the 6s and the 8s. Yeah.
I think...
Maxi, I think... needs a little bit of a backup.
I know. I think he needs a backup, but I also think...
And we need
I think Johnny Shore is good, but I think Johnny Shore is still new. And I think if you can find a much more experienced 6...
Why would you
I think KDB plays the 6.
No, he plays the 10, I'm pretty certain.
I don't think in that thing they had a 10, but I could be wrong here.
Whatever. He's a dynamic midfielder who could get guys open.
Yeah, you could have a dynamic midfielder in the 6 who could play defense too.
All right.
Imagine Parks... dynamic midfielder and Maxi or James Rodriguez.
Yeah, Shore had a great game actually.
No, Shore did have a great. It's a bad day for this conversation, but he's still he literally just turned 18 years old yesterday. Happy birthday, homie.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even say happy. Was it yesterday or was it? I think it was game day, and I didn't even say happy birthday to him.
Damn,
That's
you messed
fucked
up.
up, man. I messed up. All right, to put a bow into this Union game, do you have anything else? I have a bow on it, but I want to know if you want to talk about anything else that we might have missed. You good?
Just that Matt Freese again is incredible. He
finally got his clean sheet.
He got his clean sheet. He got player of the match
by us, right? By the way, Alonso Martinez, because I feel like player of the match when it's like NYCFC saying player of the match, not that important. I don't even know who decides that. Really, who does decide that? The intern in the back, like that guy Matt Freese. Matt Freese paid him $5 before the game.
Actually, we should figure out who chooses player of the match. I actually have no idea.
Heineken does.
Just some intern at Heineken
Drinking a beer.
But I think like after we scored the end of that game, there was a lot of opportunities for Philadelphia to tie that game up, and Matt Freese came in clutch.
Yeah,
and so I just once again Matt Freese, incredible as usual. So I just want to talk about that.
And to put another bow, Alonso Martinez won.
How many bowls we got on this thing?
Bro, we're doing the double bows. I do it for my daughter sometimes. Alonso Martinez got he made the team week. What, I don't even know what it's called. They got some weird names for things. Player of the match week,
something like that. I know
he was in that starting 9.
Yes.
You guys know what I'm talking about. So shout out to him for making it.
Shout out to
But
Alonso.
I also wanted to highlight another thing with Alonso Martinez. With the goal he got against Philly, he became the 4th different player in club history to score 5 goals in 7 games of a season. But this list is very prime, and you're gonna like this list.
Yeah,
Valentin Taty Castellano was on that. He was one of the players who's done that. Your second favorite player, Jesus Medina. He's actually your favorite player.
My favorite player. Let's go Medina
and David Villa. So that's a good list.
That is a good list.
Other than Medina, it's a great list.
That's the Mount Rushmore right there of NYCFC. You might have to take out Villa because of other things, but.
But that gets us into our next conversation. We're gonna do a little debation station.
Hey yo, it's debation station. You heard?
All right, our debation station this week is Alonso Martinez, a more deadlier finisher than Taty Castellanos was. I didn't even ask you. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I think he is.
You wildin'. I don't have any stats to prove that, but just the eye test, Taty was a beast.
No. First of all, Taty is a beast. And I want to caveat that we still have a very small sample size of Alonso Martinez. Right? Yes. But I got a little bit of statistics. I think what made Taty like such a good player was his aerial game. Every time I think of a Taty goal, like 90% of them are set piece corner headers. That back of the post, he was incredible there. But so many times did we not doubt Taty Castellanos, except maybe for that last year, where you had him at striker and he would go on these cold streaks. And I would say on this podcast like a goddamn idiot, I don't know if we should have this guy on striker. and I was wrong. But according to Transfer Market, he's played 50 games between 2018 and 2022. Right? 50 games. He had 12 from penalty kicks. He's had 11 goals via headers. So that's a large amount via headers. And 27 goals that weren't headers or penalty kicks. So 50% of his goals, pretty much ish, were not
penalties or headers.
Or headers.
Okay.
And if you take those 50 goals and divide it by the amount of minutes he's played, 9,962 minutes.
There's a lot of numbers.
That means per 90 he had 0.45 goals per 90. That's okay. I mean, that's probably he's a golden boot winner. Okay,
yeah,
he's good.
It's better than okay.
But last year, Alonso, remember, Santi was our PK kicker last year. Last year, He had 16 goals in 26 appearances, which means my man's had a .96 goals per 90 minutes. It's almost 1 goal per 90 minutes. My man is deadly out there, and he has 5 goals in 7 games. He's almost at the same trajectory 5 games in. So we're looking at a 21 game sample size. That's almost half of the games that Taty's played with this team, and he's averaging half a goal more per 90 minutes. I mean, I know the sample size doesn't match, but I think in the long run, we're going to say it's a very different type of striker and a very different type of talent. But I think as a finisher, Alonso Martinez is and will be a more elite finisher.
I think one thing you're forgetting, last year's playoffs, where was Alonso Martinez to be found? Nowhere. I don't think he scored. He might have scored 1 game in those in playoffs. And what did we say about Taty Castellanos? He scored in like 3 out of the 4 playoff games, and then he didn't even start one of those games. The guy was a monster. Wherever he was, he would make sure the ball got behind the net. And I don't know if we've seen that yet in Alonso Martinez. I don't have any fancy stats, but the eye test shows Taty Castellanos was that guy. And when the most important games happened, he was the more deadlier striker. Because any game that was important, Taty would finish. Big games against the Red Bulls, finished, made it happen. We won those games. Playoffs, New England, he scored those goals. Portland, finals, scored, won the game. This guy was a finisher. When the times were the most important, he did it.
That's a very nice emotional pitch there. You sound like Skip Bayless with no statistics. But I would say, though...
By the way, did you see Skip Bayless just argue like 100 people?
Yes, that's exactly what made me think of that. Because this whole thing about like... was Magic Johnson
we should do that NYCFC style.
Bro, we would get destroyed so quick.
Dude, I just use my emotional claims like I just did right now. Skip Bayless did. He was just talking nonsense.
He was talking nonsense, bro. I don't even know about that much about basketball, and I knew he was talking nonsense. But I would say, I mean, I do agree that right now, yes. Taty had Mamba mentality. My man was the Kobe of NYCFC. He was deadly. But I do think, first of all, you cannot count Alonso Martinez's playoff record when he had Nick Cushing as his head coach. You know who Taty never had as head coach? Nick Cushing. And on top of that, he had prime Maxi Morales passing to him. Okay? So it's a very different team than the team that he had going in. So I think we'll see by the end of this season, if Alonso Martinez stays healthy, he's going to be much closer to that 50 goal, 50 games, and then we'll see where it ends. But I think statistically and at this trajectory, Alonso Martinez is going to be considered a deadlier striker. And just, I think this is, I don't have any statistics to like prove this, right? Or like to compare this. But just when I think, like, once again, when I think about the goals that Taty scored, he was smarter than the opponent. He put himself in the right places for the right goals, and he had an aerial attack. But Taty one-on-one wasn't out dribbling opponents, out speeding opponents.
Whoa,
I don't remember that as well. Alonso Martinez.
Talk about Taty's speed.
Taty was not nowhere near as fast as Alonso Martinez.
No. Anybody in the comments? I think Taty was faster than Martinez. I think you also forget Taty had unlimited energy. He was like,
that was a big thing for him. Yes,
he would press nonstop.
Yeah, bro. If we look back, those 27 goals were. Does this guy finding mistakes and making goals? Yeah, no, he was really good at the press.
That's a great thing to have.
No, it is
like it's a bad thing.
No, it's a great thing. But I'm saying is, I don't think he got the ball in front of an opponent and then like maneuver themselves out of that situation. I don't remember that as much from Taty. I love Taty. I think Taty's the greatest striker we've ever had. I'm not taking that away. I just think the deadliest striker compared to those two. I don't know if deadliest yet, but I think out of those two, I think he's a more deadly finisher.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll
No,
see.
he better win a golden boot so he could defend you.
I think he's gonna. I think he is gonna win the golden boot.
By the way, he's second in the race right now. He's fifth, and I think the guy we just beat, Baribo, that guy scored like 6 goals in his first 2 games, and then just went ice cold. So, I mean, I'm hyped. Let's see. Let's hope he gets enough service to him to actually make that happen, because I think he does have the finishing ability to make it happen.
Keep making those passes, homie.
Keep doing it, papa. NYCFC versus New England. First team we're playing twice already. We beat them 2-1. That's the one where Martins had the own goal, and that was their only goal of the season so far. When that happened. Since playing us though, they're 2-1. 2 wins, 1 loss. They just beat Atlanta United, so they might be on the up and up. And they're getting Campana back. He started last game. No, he didn't start. He came in like the 56th minute. Why are you looking so confused right now?
And they definitely haven't been 2-1 since.
Yeah, they have.
No, but that's okay. They have won 2 games this season. You're correct.
No, I said since our game, they're 2-1.
That's not right though, but that's okay.
Okay, moving on. I'll correct it if it's wrong.
No. Maybe you're right. All right, keep going.
They are one of the lowest scoring teams though. Still to this day, they had 0 goals against us before. Now they have 3. It's so funny. They have no assists. So like you look on FotMob, there's no assists. There's just no name there. It's just like nah. And 2 of their 3 goals have been penalties.
Oh wow.
So I wouldn't say they're all there yet, but yeah, they're still they're getting there, and they got Campana back. So I think they're still a dangerous team. We have to take them serious. And they don't allow many goals. So even though they are one of the fewest scoring goals, they rank 8th in goals conceded per match. So that's pretty solid. Thoughts on the lineup? What would you do? Or do you have any interesting stats you want to share?
I think first of all, no. I think you run it back. I think it was a good lineup, and I think you keep it that way.
Julian at the 10, bro. Just have him start. You're so confident in this guy.
I said let's give him the opportunity. But I like Ojeda. I thought he was really solid this game. We kind of didn't touch on it so much, but
I saw some people actually not thinking he was solid. I mean, the coach gave him some love after the game, though. I thought he did well. I mean, I thought he had some chances to finish.
Yeah,
that could have gone our way, but still, overall, I think he was a presence much more than Julian was the game before.
Yes, and he put himself in positions to have opportunities. He didn't convert on them, but he did. And also, I think I really watched how much he tracked back, and I thought his work rate on defense was really high too, and so that was nice to see. I saw him giving a lot of support to O'Toole,
which is nice because O'Toole's just running marathons every game.
Exactly,
my guy's tired every game.
Exactly. But I wanted to point out was you did say they're 2-1, I think you're right, but I think the teams that they have beaten, terrible teams. One of them was Atlanta, and you go, Atlanta's a good team. But Atlanta's not a good team, because if you think about it, the only 2 teams Atlanta's beaten so far is us with that ridiculous 4 goals, and the other team they've beaten is Montreal, who's last terrible. Place and hasn't had a win this season.
They have as few goals as New England, so you know they're struggling.
So Atlanta is not like fantastic, and I know they beat Atlanta, and Atlanta's underperforming and has a lot of talent, but. You think I'm changing the topic completely, but you think Ronnie Dyla's on the hot seat when you have that much talent and you're underperforming
Not
like that?
5 games in, bro. Give it some time.
7 games.
You know what? You're acting like us in 2021. Remember, everybody's like, Ronnie out. And then he went on the hottest of hot streaks.
Well, that's true. You got to give Ronnie till July to warm up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he makes it happen.
What's our betting with bros lines?
Betting with bros. So New England's a plus 140. The draw is plus 225, and NYCFC to win is plus 175. I feel like that doesn't seem right. I think maybe because they beat Atlanta, they're giving this team more credit.
Well, they're playing at home. You got to give them when people.
At Patriots Stadium? Nah.
Yeah, I thought the line. I mean, these guys don't know MLS, bro. Let's capitalize. Let's make some money.
A lock. I feel like I'm saying this every week. Alonso Martinez to score is the easiest lock in the world. Or to score 2 assists. He had multiple opportunities for an assist this game. No. NYCFC to win. Alonso Martinez to score or assist. The easiest money you'll make this week.
I'm surprised you're not going the corners. You love the corners.
I know, but I haven't been keeping track. I don't know how many corners we've had the past 2 games.
I'm gonna go. I'll go. I want to do something different, but I don't want to lose money.
You're so good at losing money.
Let's just go NYCFC to win. Let's be fair. I think we should beat them. I think we should go into this game with some confidence. We lost the 2 previous before this game. Let's go in this and win. And let's get another clean sheet for Matt Freeze. This team is a low-scoring team. Campana's a little rusty. Let's get in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was trying to see the last team New England beat, which was the Red Bulls, actually.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That's actually pretty surprising. They scored 2 goals that game. Season high right there.
It really was. Yeah, my final score prediction, I'm going to go NYCFC wins 2-0.
I was thinking the same. I'm going to go NYCFC 2 wins. Sorry, 2 nothing.
2 wins?
Well.
They're going to get 2 wins out of that? All right, any final words? What you got for me?
I got nothing. You got something?
Nah, I'm ready to go. I don't know. Enjoy everybody's spring break. All the kids are out.
I guess so.
Oh, I forgot. Suleimani. She listens to the pod.
Yes.
She saw me after the last game and she's like, I've been slacking. I haven't been listening. I'm like, don't worry. We've been slacking. We haven't been posting. I was like, but this week we're making a podcast for you. So you better listen. So this was for you, Suleimani. You probably didn't get to the end of this, but if you did, this was for you. And good luck on your Sweet 16 party.
Peace.